Good evening, and welcome to the 19th Sentinel Awards.
I just love to be a part of a show that is hopefully showing the next generation something a little bit more positive and hopeful.
When Michael hired me on Sophia the First, I just had to pitch an episode featuring Disney's first princess with a disability. For the kids like my sister out there, and the other kids who might not know how to handle someone a little different.
I'd like to thank my parents who not only gave me a sense of humor, but they also gave me cerebral palsy. And I feel like that's been great for my career. People with cerebral palsy are finally getting a chance to tell their stories. Inclusion matters, but it can also make damn great television.
Thanks so much, Hollywood Health and Society, for everything you do and for honoring our show and pushing us and other shows to get it right, because we certainly agree it really matters. Thanks so much.
And our culture does not encourage people who cause harm to take responsibility. Our great hope is that our show will encourage more people to believe survivors. So thank you.
Although tremendous progress has been made in the treatment of AIDS, it is still a highly stigmatized disease around the world. That's why it remains vital to see characters with HIV and AIDS portrayed on television. I believe that visibility is key to dispelling the misinformation and fear that breeds stigma.
The topic of mental health is not something that is often spoken about in the Latino community. We really hope that it starts a conversation, not just in the Latinx community, but for women in general who definitely don't deal with self-care enough.
Our goal was to portray the struggle as accurately as possible, to educate our audience without lecturing them, so those who know Alzheimer's all too well would recognize themselves, and those who have not yet encountered it would learn something of value.
You're not just making a show, you're defining the way that kids, millions of kids, see their world and understand the friends that they have around them.
These awards are really awesome because it lets you actually acknowledge the people who are out there working to make it great.
And so I feel so incredibly blessed to be a part of the community of people at Sesame Street who every day try and shape the world so it can be as good as it can be. So thank you.
There's always been a feeling of responsibility to tell stories that were entertaining and fun and funny, but also realistic and responsible.
At a time when this is on everyone's minds, when it's under assault, when not just women's right to choose, but even their own memories of their own bodies seems to constantly be under attack, we feel even more passionately about how we've depicted this, and I hope that we continue to see it on screen.
We're set in the early 80s. This was 10 years after Roe versus Wade, and the choice was available. Now it's 30 years later. We're seeing the ability to make that choice chipped away at all over the country. Can you think of any laws that give the government the power to make decisions about the male body?
This makes me incredibly proud to be working on a team that strives to make more than just entertainment, and who still, after 15 years, manages to use its big, immense platform to create change, to bring awareness, and to hopefully lead to research and social change.
As grateful as I am for this award, my greatest satisfaction would be in knowing that there are women out there battling breast cancer who've watched this show and known that they are seen. We acknowledge their truth and their struggle and their pain, and we speak hope into it.
Thank you so much for being here. See you next year.